Sally's Bacon Addiction brownies. So I've got butter and chocolate and it's melting in a pan. I might need a spoon. Got a spatula. It's melting, it's melting, it's melting. I think I should have been stirring it a little sooner, but never mind, whatever. Now once that's all melted, you have to mix it in with the dry ingredients. You always have to remember to let anything you've got warm, don't mix it in with eggs, because you're just going to get scrambled eggs, and whatever you're making it's going to taste like scrambled eggs. Just saying. Stirring until completely smooth, it says. So that's what I'm doing. I think I might wash up a spoon. Ironically, the last thing this had on it was scrambled egg. You want to make sure it's completely dry before you stick it in the chocolate, because chocolate and water don't mix. It will something, I don't know. It does something to it. It's doing quite well. It's doing quite well. Lovely. So while that's doing what it's doing, I'm going to figure out how much sugar I need and weigh that out. So I need 2 cups of sugar. I love using these. It makes life easier. Sugar. 2 cups. Oop. See, why would you choose to, you know, the scales is like, oh, a little bit too much, not quite enough, a little bit too much, not quite enough, and you're forever back and forth. I like these. Is that a cup? I'd say that's full. Yeah. So 1. Something black in it, never mind, whatever. 2. Get in there. 2. Okay. Now it's melting nice and slowly, which is really helpful. Really good. Let's get in there, let's get in there, let's get in there. Lovely. What's funny about this recipe, it looks really easy, but it's funny. It says preparation time 10 minutes, cooking time 30 minutes, overall time to make 3 hours. Yeah, whatever. I ain't got 3 hours. Well, I have, because, you know, everyone's in lockdown, etc, etc, you know, whatever. It's almost there. It's almost there. Done pretty well on that. That's good. Might as well sort out the baking tray while everything is getting as it should. Pretty much ready to just mix it all together, because then you've just got the eggs to go in, and vanilla extract, essence, whatever's your poison. Oh yeah, and the flour and the cocoa powder, but I reckon that's going to be simple. I've got my tin. Now, I've always found that if you put butter underneath the baking paper, that it tends to make whatever you're making soggy. I could be wrong, but if you put it, hang on, I can take this off. If you put it just around the sides, then it keeps the paper where it should be, but it doesn't make the cake or whatever soggy. So that's that. I'm going to put some paper in it. We went to the pound shop and got this, and it says ready cut baking sheets. Now, I don't understand how it can be ready cut, because how do they know what size your baking thing is? But we'll see. I might try it out. I'm going to try it out and see how accurate it is. Let's see then. Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good. That's not, well, I mean, yeah, sort of, whatever. Sort of. So I'm just going to cut it to size a bit. So that's fine. I might take the chocolate off. Take it off. was going to use a little bit left over to, that's what you want to do. You want to tear a bit off, wrap it in the butter, and just use that to go around the sides of your pan, so the baking thing sticks. Right. I was going to use a bit that I didn't have to cut off of that bit. It's all ended up on the floor. Right. So that should do nice. Yeah. Not bad. Okay. So that's coming off. Doesn't look nice, but whatever. Okay. Don't need that. So my chocolate is just chocolate and my butter. It's just gonna cool down a few minutes. Now, next thing to do is whisking the sugar. It's probably alright to do it with that, but that is still a bit warm. So I've got my sugar, remember 2 cups. So I'm going to get the whisk. Okay. I mean, whisk it, it says whisk it. Okay. Just gonna do a bit at a time because it usually recommends to do a bit at a time, so let's just do that, okay? So I've let my sugar and chocolate and butter mixture cool off a bit. And now the next thing to do is then whisk in the eggs. Sugar. So I need 3 large eggs. I'm going to do these one at a time because it usually says to do that. So I need 9 pieces. Okay. Another egg. It looked good. Okay. So I'm actually just hoping these large eggs because they're from a mixed size box or whatever. I'm sure it's fine. That's that. Oh, and vanilla we need. Where's my vanilla? So we need 2 teaspoons. Where's the teaspoon? You know what? I don't have a clean teaspoon. I think I'll just guess it. 1 teaspoon. 2 teaspoons. Yeah. Eggs and vanilla, so I need to whisk that in. So I've got my cocoa powder and flour. I need to fold them in slowly. Well, it says add it, but I mean fold it, right? Add it is very vague. So let's switch this, switch the, thing off. Okay. We fold it in. I'm a bit concerned this isn't all going to fit. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll invest in a bigger bowl maybe. Maybe we have a bigger bowl. Maybe I just thought, oh, we need a... Because this bowl fit perfectly in the saucepan when I was melting the chocolate. It looks good. Folding it in nice and gently. So it's all nicely folded. It looks really good. I've got. Oh god. That's orange. Okay. Handsome. Handsome. You want to try a bit? So it asks you to make. What's my nose red? It asks you to make 4 ounces of chopped chocolate, and so you use 2 ounces of it in the chocolate mixture. Now at the beginning we did the chocolate and the butter and we melted it together, waited for it to cool down in case there wasn't, so no scrambled egg. Okay, so I've got the rest of it here, so I can use to add it in to use for chocolate chips. So let's do that. Yeah, mix in a bit. One bit at a time, I think. I probably should have folded it half the amount that I thought it should do before I folded in the chocolate chips, but hey, Now, to me this is going to be a bit boring, so I've got a whole load of chocolate here to choose from to add to it, and we're going to think about what to put in it, because it was Easter and I've got a whole load of leftover stuff. I mean, it's not really Easter, but you've got loads of bits and pieces to shove in there, so I'm going to use this up. What else can we shove in there? I've got some Rolos in there. Yeah, little Rolos. Stuff them in. Not all of them, just a little bit, because that ought to do it. Make it a bit more fun. Look, that's not really very much chocolate orange, but it'll be a case of whoever finds the chocolate orange bit wins something. Wins another bit of brownie. Maybe. Oh, got some. Yeah, there's a bit of stray Easter egg. I don't know what that is, so we'll add that in. Let's chop it. Chocolate's a bit soft because I did take them all out of the fridge in preparation, so it does make it easier to chop your chocolate. I think that might do, because I don't want to ruin it, because it only asks for 2 grams, or was it ounces? Whatever I said earlier. Because sometimes I think if you put too much in, then it doesn't cook properly. Oh yeah, I'm probably doing way too much now. Well, I'll just use this bit and then it's mix it up a bit more. Don't mix, fold, and then should be ready to go in the baking thing. Yeah. So it tastes amazing without all this extra stuff, but I just like to add stuff because I like to make my own recipes, even though that's probably like 0.5% of the idea of the recipe. The rest of it's what I found online. Maybe I'll put the recipe for this in the link below, like they say. Don't know how to do that, but I'm sure it's not that difficult. I don't know. Don't think it's going to be mixed very even. I can make it mixed even. We can do that. Shit, that's good. And then it goes. Oh my gosh. I tempted to put some Kit Kat in it, but maybe next time. I think it's going to be too much otherwise. Yeah. So, mixed enough. Yeah. Gosh, it's rich. that is a rich brownie. Let's just hope it comes out the oven alright. I'm sure it will. I can't see how you could go wrong with something that tastes that good. Get it all in there. You want to try and fill all the corners, but you can spread it out with a spoon obviously afterwards. Only hope that it's fairly spreadable. And this one looks pretty good actually. It's a really nice consistency. Done quite a few recipes brownie recipes in the past. And some of them you can just tell when it's going to be more cakey than anything else. But this, I mean, gosh, this tasted so rich on my fingers. I think just even it out a bit more maybe. But obviously it spreads in the oven, right? That looks amazing. Amazing. Okay, and it goes in. So the recipe says half an hour, but it also says 25 minutes is probably the optimal time. It's a strange recipe when it says it takes 3 hours to make and cook, etc. And then it, what's the word? Say for half an hour, 25 minutes, make it your mind, basically. I'm gonna wash my hands, put the oven gloves on, stick it in there.